intros because we're already behind, so let's get going very quickly. Okay, so as soon as I land, basically is when the timer starts. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is Glare. First off, we're gonna jump off screen and actually get on top of that ledge over there. We currently have 0 weapons at all, except for we can glare things to activate them, which is the main gimmick of the game. You can activate certain items in the game by looking at them with light. You're basically a warrior of light that is sent into the planet to basically save the world from the aliens that are trying to steal all the light. Don't ask me how this makes sense. It doesn't. So yeah, that's basically the main gimmick of the game. All this stuff that you just saw, that gas, that completely stops me in my tracks. And if I would hit it on those jumps, I would actually fall into those spikes and die. I can also push enemies away, which is quite useful. That was a boost you're normally not supposed to get in a marathon. That was completely by accident. Whoopsie. That game capture looks off, but we're gonna deal with it. Okay, so I just checked real quick, we're basically like, I don't know, I want to say the second off IL record right now, which means nothing because this IL is really tight, but we're basically doing very well still. This level is not very hard though. Okay, so let's try and kill that enemy. Oh, I actually got the random health drop. I need to turn my Steam off to... There. No more Steam notifications. That's good. Oh yeah, this FPS meter up here, you would think it's slightly insignificant, but it really isn't. There's a very specific glitch later in the game that we need the FPS to be at 120 FPS for, so that's why I have it up there so I can check if it's doing alright, and it is. Basically, you can do it on 60 FPS, but I am so used to 120 FPS that I would have to completely change my setup. Because we're gonna do a specific physics abuse, which is based on the amount of frames that you've paused. So yeah, having a different FPS kind of messes with you in that sense. Because if you pause, your FPS is going to shoot up into the 200 plus mark. Okay. So this tree is supposed to still generate, but I can jump on top of it, even though it doesn't... Like, it's not visually there yet, but its actual hitbox is there, so I can jump up on it while it's still trying to draw it. Because we're going faster than the game expects us to. There's supposed to be an enemy right here, and he blocked me. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. This can kill me if it feels like it. Okay, it didn't. Cool. You can kind of get a random boost off that tree and just suddenly fly off into the spikes for no apparent reason whatsoever. Okay, let's see if we can get the boost here. Kind of. Basically, in this game, if you kind of slide off a platform, you can use that momentum to... If you jump at the right time, you can basically move that momentum to fly a little bit faster than you're supposed to walk, but... They're kind of iffy, and also they save barely any time at all, so it's not really worth actively chasing for them. Okay, that guy's not gonna die, so I'm gonna help him along. There we go. I have nothing better to do right now anyway. I need to walk back here. There we go. So this section coming up is kind of tight because I need to do a couple of things in a very quick succession. And ruining any of those could potentially very quickly kill me. So I need to clear this dust out grow that plant and then immediately shoot these bubbles out so I can actually wall jump off and barely miss that acid cycle. I'm not sure how the cycle on this is going to be because I'm behind. Okay, that was a good cycle, so that means I'm probably fine on the next cycle as well. I'm about to actually commit suicide here because this game actually goes a lot faster if you're almost dead for some reason. Basically, I'm gonna hit a switch. Okay, I am slightly behind on cycle. That's bad. That's bad, yo. Please. No. Whoa, okay. There we go. That never happened before, having to save it like that. Usually I just accidentally die and reset, but goddamn that save. Okay. That worked. We're fine. We're golden. What? We're good. Okay, I was not supposed to get stuck on that wall there, but we're good. So we entered this fight before 6 minutes, which actually is quite good for 3 world, especially with that save I had to do. So yeah, this is the boss fights. Basically, I can move in this entire circle. What I want to do is hit the boss only once it's open, because it takes a certain amount of damage before it dies. So yeah, that was basically one shot off of perfect cycle, because the enemy got in my way. You can kind of manipulate them, but it's very iffy at times. I also want to not get hit, because if I get hit, Shiner kind of gets startled like that, and he stops shooting for like one shot as well. So there I did a proper manipulation. So I kind of basically weaved in a certain way where they go around me instead of at me, and I can go in between them and the boss. So yeah. So yeah, because normally in Select World you wouldn't have all the worlds, because I played this game way too much. I have all of them. Once you see that boss animation pop up where it starts to die, the Select World will actually pop up. So that's why we use Select Level, to skip like a 20-minute cutscene every boss death animation. So yeah, here comes one of the worst basically mechanics in the game, lantern boosting. That was actually a proper lantern boost. Okay. That wasn't too bad. There we go. So yeah, these kind of ruin my life, usually. Okay, that was a slow lantern boost, but it worked and I didn't die. We're fine. Okay. 8 minutes. Yeah, okay. So this is where I get my first shot upgrade. Basically, now we're gonna shoot 3 bullets instead of 1, which, yeah, it helps on bosses and stuff. And just general enemy management. So instead of having to glare them off and deal with how they move after that, I can actually kill them before they get annoying to me. We should be good on this one. Please hit that. There we go. Okay. So apparently you were watching Couch all along here. Couch has a very good speedrun, man. Nice. I forgot to tell people to move the camera. I'm smart. Okay, enemy manipulation at least worked. Those enemies can very easily just bump you down and bump you into the spikes there, so. Pretty nice. We're about to do a pretty big puzzle skip. So basically, I'm gonna jump onto one of the bouncy platforms and go straight up. You're supposed to go all the way around and left, and spend like 15 to 20 seconds on like a platforming lantern puzzle. I really don't feel like doing that, so I'm gonna jump into the last lantern here, which you just barely reach by doing that. Okay, let's see. Okay, fast rats, please don't ruin me. Okay, got the backup health, that's fine. Good. We skipped a small little cycle there. By doing a damage boost, which is quite dangerous, we can skip that cycle. Okay, we got a random boost there. That's fine. There we go. We need to hit this button, then go back up. So this button here, in case you didn't notice, it goes up to this line and opens this door for us. Yeah. So here comes the worst of the lantern puzzling. Okay, that was good. That was... okay, that was a bit more boost than I expected. At least the checkpoint's right there. So this is the worst of the boost, and that was perfect. Good. Nice. It looks fairly easy, but basically you need to hit the lantern and then immediately jump off as you're getting the forward momentum, because if you get too close to the lantern, it'll snap you to it, and it'll keep you on the lantern, and that's what we don't want, because that kills all of our speed. So you kind of need to, like, weigh in when you start glaring, so you know what the timing is, and when you jump. It gets kind of annoying, especially on those kinds of jumps which are semi-blind, because the lantern still has to pop up to your screen. You need enough distance between you and the lantern to even get the jump before it snaps you to the lantern and keeps you there. So yeah, now we have slide. What is a platformer without slide? This slide works slightly differently, where it only works on specific slopes that the game says you can slide on, but still, it's a nice addition to kind of go semi-faster. What the heck was that bounce? Okay, we're not going to worry about that too much. So yeah, I'm not sure if this actually saves time, but I usually jump over the hills that go up, because I have a feeling that they slow you down slightly. So yeah, I'm shooting here to try and get those bubbles out of my way before I get there. Here's another jump to skip a bunch of these, I guess, bouncy pads, whatever. So yeah, if you see this, where I shine at this and that big vein basically gets lit up, I'll show you where those end up in just a second. That's bad, yo. Okay, I need to not get here or I'm screwed. Okay, that should be good. Okay. That was slightly more dangerous than it should have been, but we're fine. Okay. There we go. So yeah, this is basically just a run through and hope your enemies run into your other enemies, because they can hit each other for some odd reason. There we go. Another lantern boost if we can... No, okay. We hit the ceiling. It's quite common for you to hit the ceiling there. It doesn't waste a lot of time. Just a little bit. So this manta ray here still is in our way. Okay, he died fairly quickly. That's nice. Cool. So another very, very small sequence break here. Basically, we're supposed to use another slide to get up to this third slide here and go up there. I don't feel like doing that. Okay. Game, please, thank you. I'd rather do that, basically. And then we can skip all these enemies and just go up here and hit the third of these. Yeah, I can't really call them anything other than veins, honestly. Basically, these are light pools, and they help us kill the boss. So we're about to head up to the boss here. Okay, so the 3 veins, they show up here, there in the corner, and there in the corner. So they basically push the boss out, so his legs, and that basically opens him up once all of his legs are gone. And these things around his legs are kind of locks, which keep him in place. By the way, as you may have noticed, the gimmick of this boss fight is the exploding balls that it spawns under me. Please stop. trying to kill me, game. I'm at 1 HP. Okay, I'm at 3 HP. By the way, this game is really good at telling you what your health is. Basically, if the screen is slightly darker, you have less health. You have a total of 3 health, but you need to keep track of it yourself because there's literally no display of it other than the screen getting darker. But on certain dark levels, it's barely seeable if you have 2 or 1 health. So you can get confused and actually die to the boss fights. Which I really hope doesn't happen today, but it might. Okay, so that's 2 cycles down. 3rd cycle and we're out of here. And then it's 2 pillar rolled. Okay. I think it's this lock that breaks last, so stay somewhat close to here. Okay, it should open up now. There we go. Oh, it was actually 2 health. What? I had no idea. Okay, so pillar rolled it is. So here comes slide. Backup strats. Okay, okay, game. Stop trying to kill me, please. Please, stop doing this to me. Thank you. So yeah, see how Shiner's all dark right now? That's because he's low health. So yeah, here's another kind of slide puzzle where you have to go along these light rails. I don't feel like it, so I'm just gonna drop straight down into the exit from the first slide. Because I know it's there anyway, so might as well, right? Okay, so we're about to head down here, and instead of falling into a pit and doing a battery puzzle, which we're supposed to do, which is the gimmick of pillar levels, we're actually going to jump off this wall, jump up here, and just barely hit that rail there, and skip the entire thing. Because who likes doing stuff that you don't even have to? I mean, come on. So yeah, another gimmick that starts in pillar levels is stuff that pushes you upwards. So right here I'm clearing out these vents which now open up an airstream. If I jump here I have very low gravity and I fly up like this. It gets annoying when you're trying to deal with enemies like this, so they turn it off. Please don't kill me. Thank you. I had 1 HP. If that enemy even touched me I was dead. So yeah, now we go up here, and instead of doing all the puzzling with these mushrooms here, I'm just going along the wall and using that as my platform to go up. Because again, going fast, man. Oh, that usually never happens. I'm not gonna say it never happened before, because it might have at some point. I've played this game way too much to even remember at this point. There we go. Okay, so here's the first puzzle, battery puzzle basically. So we need that receptacle up there that you might have just missed, but you probably could have already seen. Basically there's a battery that we're gonna drop right now that needs to get into that receptacle. But instead of going all the way around again and running up there, I can just throw it up there and be done with it. So I just threw it into the receptacle, and if it gets close enough, it basically just snaps in. So yeah, we're gonna attempt that on basically every battery puzzle that we get to reduce movement as much as possible. Okay, so another very small optimization here, and By going right and going along this wall, I can only use this slide instead of both. Oh, hello. Please let me go along here. And also, we can actually jump up here with a lantern boost instead of using more slides. Oh, these enemies didn't spawn. They usually spawn if you're slow. So, another small time saver here. By using this boost just at this corner here, you can actually get up that mushroom instead of having to run forth and back to get it. There we go. Okay, so, unfortunately, I was very much missing something during the start of this game, which we're about to unlock here. And, yeah, I mean, what's a platformer without a double jump ability, man? You need one at least. So, let's get that. Okay, so there is actually a crowd here. Unlike how it looks, they're just all sitting off camera because apparently they're sleepy. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna try... that's not gonna work, is it? No, okay. That was definitely not going to work. Okay, I tried something stupid. Let's try and slide up this wall, hit that, I was supposed to hit that corner there. Whoa, enemy, please, stop doing... Okay, I'm killing you. I don't feel like dealing with your crap anymore. Thank you. Okay, so another small skip here where we can actually jump up. There we go. Oh, whoa. Please don't. Ah, I got him. That legitimately never happened before. I have never dropped the ball like that. Okay, so that should have hit. Yeah. I need to go far enough down that the receptacle actually loads so it can actually accept the battery. But yeah, I just barely got it. So yeah, the gimmick of this boss is basically these lasers that it spawns. Let's go into this and try and actually get a perfect cycle boss for once. This looks pretty promising for now. That was a perfect first cycle. This is one of the harder, sorry, one of the easier gimmicks, in my opinion. Okay, select world, ice world. Let's go. You can go for. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll get it done. Over.
We got a $5 donation by Recult. This ain't goats, but hug them anyway. Bah!
Okay, so we're about to come up to the biggest speed strat found in this game, and I want to see some what faces in a couple of seconds here. They're probably about to come up. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's way too long, but whatever. So yeah, I paused and unpaused, and the game broke. Whoops. That is way too long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 26 seconds. That is terrible, but at least it'll work. I mean, if it was going to go over 30 seconds, I probably would have reset, but yeah. To quickly explain that was a bash beast. Basically, it tries to bash into you, and then it starts moving backwards. By pausing while he was moving backwards, I sort of clipped into him, and as soon as I unpaused, the game tried to push me out with such force that actually shot me straight back into a wall, which shot me straight upwards. And that basically flew me up high enough so I could actually get over this wall. If you look to the left here, that's where the normal level would go, and you would go down there, but we're not going to do that. But we're not out of the woods yet, because we need to do one more sequence break right here to actually get light bombs, because if I go down here, I need light bombs to progress the game, and I don't have them, so let's get them down here, shall we? So I just get another sequence here, and we get down here just before where the light bombs are going to show up. So I need to slide along this wall, get another double jump, slide along that wall, and actually jump. That would be useful, probably. I mean, that's only recently been going wrong, and only in marathons. I have no idea why it's happening, but okay, second try is okay. So yeah, there's another puzzle here with the batteries, and the game things that you need to slide all the way back to that side, so they actually make it fairly easy. But, you know, I really don't feel like going all the way to the right, so we're just gonna do that. Grab it midair and actually go back before we go all the way to the right. So another very, very small time saver coming up if I can actually hit it. Nope, okay. You can actually fly through that hole and slide all the way down here, which saves roughly a second, maybe. But it just looks cool, so I try to get it every run I do. So yeah, there's a small little exploit where you can use upgrades before the cutscene plays, so I just chucked the light bomb there. You can't see it, but in this corner, sometimes you see a wall flying. Basically, there's the first wall shows right up as the section starts that you walk into. So right here off this ridge is usually a wall, and I destroyed that, so I immediately get the second light bomb to destroy the second wall instead of having to wait for its cooldown to end. So yeah, now it's just a matter of chucking light bombs at these walls that we can't break any other way than with the light bombs. So yeah, you might remember this part. I mean, we've been here before, but now we actually have the light bombs, so let's actually progress and see what the game holds out for us. Okay, so we're about to come up to a section that looks really good if you do it well, but can really easily mess up because there's a lot of enemies that you need to kind of manipulate and just not get to hit you. Basically, I'm about to start these birds here on a cycle, and the first cycle that happens just so happens to work out where you can skip to the start of the cycle, so you can skip like 2 or 3 birds. It's kind of hard. I'm gonna need to concentrate a little bit on doing that, but it'll look really cool if I get it. Okay, please stop getting stuck to the bird. Okay, should be good. Yeah, we did it. Cool. So yeah, now there's a million enemies behind me because the game really didn't expect you to skip that many cycles. There we go. Okay. That was a checkpoint, by the way, so we're safe now, but So yeah, should be good. Okay, I'm gonna jump down here just to start this cycle here with the enemy that spawns. Okay, we're on 2 health. That might be slightly dangerous, but we should be fine. There we go. Okay. Okay, we good. We're out of the woods. Almost missed that slide, actually. Okay. Please get this slide at least. There we go. So yeah, the game expects you to use another launcher, which is up there basically. I don't feel like doing that, so I'm just gonna use a lantern boost. Okay, game. Thank you for ignoring my jump input. That's not gonna make it, is it? Nope. Okay. There we go. So yeah, as you saw there, it's definitely not a guarantee that your lantern boost will work. You need a specific angle and speed to get these things to work. Let's see, do we do leap of faith? Nope, because this bird is already here. So yeah, fortunately birds are very much an auto-scroller, so there's nothing to do about that. Except for try to speed it up wherever possible by jumping off the birds earlier than... Well, not exactly than intended. I mean, they know you can do that. Fun fact, this game was actually developed by a team that actually included a few speedrunners. And the devs actually did speedrun this game as they were making it, so the 100% time is still being held by a dev today. The game is not being worked on too much though, so I probably need to rat out 100% someday, because the 100% time that is held by the dev has 0 of these skips. By the way, if I jump here, I fall right into the boss fight, which is quite a nice little touch that they included. So yeah, the gimmick in this boss is basically these balls, which have an enormous amount of health. Also, I was supposed to get my 3rd weapon upgrade in the ice world, but because I did that sequence break, I actually skipped it. So this boss fight is going to take way longer than the other boss fights, and it's actually going to be quite a bit more dangerous, because all the enemies just take... I just take way longer to get these cycles over with, and more enemies can spawn around me and try and kill me. Okay, that's a health drop. I really want that. This game tries to wombo combo you wherever possible, so if you have 2 health, it'll throw so much stuff at you that you'll just suddenly die without actually knowing what the hell just happened. Okay. So I need a little bit of enemy management right now. Oh, okay. Cool. That one dead. So for this boss, I really don't care if enemies get in my way, so long as I don't die, it's fine. I mean, dying on these bosses is really shameful, and it wastes a lot of time, especially if you're on the 3rd cycle, because it will fully reset the boss. You'll spawn right in front of the boss fight, but you'll have to do the entire boss fight over. So it's really annoying, and if it happens, you'd rather have it happen quickly. Okay. Please don't get in my way. I'm gonna grab that health for safety. Oh god, okay. That was Ice World. Let's go into lava. So yeah, if you see these laser beams up here, they will kind of make sense in a little bit. Basically, every world we free from the darkness sends a beam of light up towards... I have no idea what it actually is because it's not being explained, but like somewhat of a system of like planets or whatever. Oh god. Okay, yeah, that was. I was way too doing way too dangerous stuff up there. I need to actually pay attention and try and kill this thing, and then just get out of there before they try and kill me. There we go. Okay. So, every planet kind of has its own ring up in the sky, which represents that planet or something or other, and those lights beam up there, but the giant boss of all these aliens actually is holding those rings hostage, so we're currently trying to unlock all the lights to get to that ring and actually try and save that as well. It'll basically weaken the final boss. Please, don't screw with me. Thank you. So yeah, we're about to do the biggest sequence break in this. No, actually the second biggest, because there's ice. But yeah, basically you're supposed to fall all the way down into this pit and actually unlock some bubbles, which will jump you up later into the game. We can actually jump over here and abuse the fact that this wall is not supposed to give you a wall jump, but it will, and we get up here. Then we use another wall jump that's not supposed to be there. Get up this wall. Please, just stop proving me wrong, game. That's supposed to make it. Come on. Okay, I think I'm turning back too quickly. There we go. Good. Okay, we got up there. That is the hardest skip in this game, in my opinion. I mean, the other one is literally just pausing and unpausing. But that's too basically. Well, there are wall jumps where you're not supposed to, so you need to get the spot just right for the game to actually count it as a wall jump. There's one more of those skips coming up later in the final boss area, but for now we're kind of out of the woods. So yeah, this is Meteor Slide. Slide just got quite an upgrade. Once that fires behind us, we are invincible. Please don't screw this up, Jasper. That'd be great. I'll get this checkpoint for safety. So yeah, we're invincible and we can break all those gold walls, so... The game was like, you held out this long, let's give you the ultimate upgrade, right? Invulnerability. That's what everybody wants while trying to save the world. Hello. Okay. Stop doing this! Oh, whoa. Okay. Wait. Where am I? Okay. No, I'm up. I'm down here. Okay. Well, that safety checkpoint worked out. I've never died there before, but good thing I actually took it. I usually don't take that safety checkpoint, because you're not supposed to ever die down here. I think this happened to me once before in casual runs or a marathon. I don't remember, honestly. Okay, in the receptacle with you, and let's get out of here before it messes me up more. Wow, that was shameful. I really shouldn't have died there. Okay, so... some more wall platforming up here. Okay, so we're gonna slide right up to this ridge and jump up here. You're supposed to have bubbles here you can basically bounce off of, but we don't because we didn't unlock them earlier. So yeah, this is the only pool you're gonna see in this level, but because we got to the third one and we're about to get to the boss fight, the game just presumes that you've actually hit all three and it triggers all three of them for you. So that's pretty nice of the game to let a sequence break that easily by just hitting one of them and getting to the boss fight. Okay, that's a bad cycle. At least we should be able to run through the rest of them quite easily. Here we go. Okay, we hit the button. Okay, so this is the last normal boss fight instead of the final boss fight. So the game was like, okay, it wasn't hard enough apparently, so let's throw all the gimmicks at you at the same time. So this has lasers, this has the high HP bouncy balls, and it's also about to start throwing the exploding balls under me. So right about now, it'll start throwing them everywhere in the world, and actually more than in desert. I actually need to be careful because I'm 1 HP, and okay, I actually hit the boss there. That's cool. I really need HP. Game, please give it to me. Okay, this is very, very scary. I really don't want to die on Lava Day. I'm gonna farm for health first before I do anything. Wow, okay, there's a health drop, cool. There we go. Safety above all, right? What? Even... okay. Nice. So that's what happens if you die. I guess the explosion had a bigger blast radius than I expected it to. I shouldn't have been hit by that, but... yeah. Fortunately, the game decided to troll me and not give me any health drops either along the entire boss fight. So now it's probably going to throw a couple of pity... actually, no health drops whatsoever. Usually when you die like that, it starts throwing a lot of health drops at you, but today this game just literally hates me. That's great. Okay, let's just pick up that health drop because I'm really scared about dying again. Okay, there's a health drop there. I'm gonna leave it there just in case I need it. It might despawn, so I hope it doesn't. If I scroll it too far off screen, it might just despawn randomly. I have no idea what causes those health drops to respawn or despawn at will. Okay. I don't feel like dealing with you. By the way, because we actually entered lava, I do get the weapon upgrade, so I currently have the highest tier of weapon upgrade. Basically, when you start a level, it'll set the flag for every upgrade you're supposed to have by the time you start that level if you do it normally. So it'll unlock everything for you that you didn't actually grab during one of the levels. Okay, finally. Let's go to Torcaster. So yeah, the first one, unfortunately, is kind of a boring one. I could try and manipulate an enemy to push me up there. I mean, I can try it once. Okay, nope. I didn't get double jump for some odd reason. Cool. Yeah, let's try that once more. Toric, please cast enemy. Okay, didn't. That's too bad then. RNG didn't want me to get up there. You can actually bounce off an enemy and actually skip this first level as well. We'll get one of the Torcaster skips, I'm sure. Okay. By the way, this is the final boss, so time is coming up fairly soon, in like a minute or so. Okay, so here's the first slidey level in Toric. So it's gonna chase you down with a laser. Let's be safe and actually get the slide that we need. So yeah, I slowed down there for a second to actually get the slide. If you go too far off the sliding sliding platform, it'll actually not slide. Okay, that's perfect cycle, but I messed up the jump. There we go. Okay, we got up there. That was fairly painless. Okay, so basically you're supposed to go all the way around, but I just jumped into the end. We're done here, so there's ice left and then lava, and this shouldn't take too long, honestly. long as I don't drop a double jump, I realistically shouldn't die here anymore. Okay, let's see if we can get the ice slide. Ah, nope. You can actually slide over that button and hit it, but I have no idea what causes it to work or not work, unfortunately. Okay, so last level. Two health right off the bat, that's great. Okay. Gonna try and do this the fast way. Whoa, okay. Okay, so now we're basically invulnerable until the end. I have no idea what that slide just did, but okay. Time coming right up as soon as I jump up here. So slide up, jump, and time. I mean, could have done better, but that's just shy. It's just a little bit less than 3 minutes off world record, so.